Natilik Live. My name is Rory Tempest and I'm here today to host a session dedicated all around the exciting world of contact centre and customer experience. I'm delighted to be joined today by Jeff Palmer from Upstream. Welcome to Natilik Live, Jeff.
Hi.
So we've been working with Upstream in the contact centre space for a number of years now, but I guess for our audience today who may not be so familiar with what you do, could you give us a quick brief overview?
Yeah, no, sure. So Upstream Works got great heritage in contact centre, specifically around CTI and integration. So if we look back at our heritage, we've been in business around 20 years, and up until 2012, everything that we've done was custom work, it was complex CTI projects, and then Cisco essentially launched Finesse, which is, for customers that don't know, is a great framework, and we actually swung the entire development resource of our company into just developing solutions for Cisco Finesse. So essentially allowing Cisco to provide richer, more seamless integrations and essentially customer journey technology within the Finesse framework. So we've been in business around 20 years and it's exciting times because now we're completely dedicated to Cisco.
Fantastic. And you guys, from my understanding of you, you operate a lot in what's now being described as the Omnichannel world.
Yeah.
And often there's quite a few buzzwords in the CX space, and I've talked to lots of clients around multi-channel.
Right, okay, yeah.
What's kind of the difference between the two?
Yeah, no, great question actually. So from a omni-channel versus multi-channel point of view, if you imagine a typical contact centre, they'll all talk around multi-channel. It's basically they've introduced channels, so they've all started off typically with voice. And then they've figured out they need to start handling email more effectively. And then they've figured out they need to maybe offer a different channel on the web, maybe chat as an entry point for customers. So a lot of customers have gone away and they've purchased technology from different vendors, or maybe sometimes the same vendor, but those channels sit in silos. So if you imagine from an agent point of view, they deal with a voice call in a certain way, and they have integrations into certain business applications. They then deal with an email, they deal in a completely different way, they don't have access to the same tool sets, so they're dealing with multiple channels, but not in a consistent way. Where if we look at omnichannel really is this wrapping up all of the capability across all channels and being able to deal with that in a single application in a consistent way, basically to ensure that from an agent point of view they have access to the same tool sets across channels, and from a customer point of view they don't feel effort really, regardless of what channel they come in on. So yeah, there's a marked difference. There's very few organisations doing omni-channel well. Lots of organisations struggling with multi-channel.
Yeah, I can imagine. And what do you think is driving that change?
Oh, it's customers. The customer is at the heart of driving all change, essentially. And if we look at a customer now, it's different to even 2 or 5 years ago. Customers have access to more information. So if you imagine a dilemma, we break things down into 2 areas, CX and AX. AX is agent experience, okay. CX is customer experience. If you look at now the customer experience, they're probably doing quite a lot of homework on the web, they have access to a lot of information. So you imagine when they get to an agent, they have higher expectations than they did because they're now more educated, they have more access to information. So an agent, in their agent experience world, has to really have access to an even higher set of tool sets than that customer has. So, we really concentrate on the agent experience as well as the customer experience. So all of this wraps up into, powering an omni-channel journey, and a big part of that is our ability to leverage integrations into multiple back-end systems as well as provide access to all of the channels.
Okay, and it sounds like, I guess for sometimes, I think, completely hear what you're saying, and that change in customer expectation, the ability for an agent desktop to have all of that at their fingertips. In terms of, though, quite often you've talked previously about lots of customers out there trialing things like web or email and them sitting siloed. And often, we refer to them a lot falling into the kind of science project. Yeah. And, it might be well funded at the start, but it kind of dies a death towards the end. Yeah. What's the best way of, getting to the guts of it and going, how is this going to impact, my business? Yeah, no,
again, great question. So we recognise this, and we recognise if we look at customers, look at certain things, they want speed to market, essentially. So they want to be able to get to market with their products and services quicker than their competitors. They want their agents to be trained and essentially what we call speed to competency. They want that curve and that timeline lowered. They also want what we call time to value. So if they make an investment in software, how do they shorten the time to value to cover the cost of the investment they've made? So we have a group of consultants that come into a customer and they essentially perform what we call a business impact assessment. And that goes far beyond what some organisations would refer to as ROI, return on investment. It genuinely looks at the workflows, the applications people access, the amount of channels that they actually have, if they're unconnected, what the net positive effect would be by reconnecting those channels into essentially providing an omni-channel solution. And at the end of all of this, we essentially produce the positive impact in a monetary value that our solutions and the Cisco solutions will actually have for that particular customer. And I think there's something that we'd really like to offer all Natilik customers.
Fantastic. And I think that's the best way of doing it often is getting under the bonnet and looking at some of that stuff. So, Jeff, that's been really insightful. I think it's a fascinating area of what's going on in the world of CX at the moment. And as Jeff's mentioned, keep your eyes peeled at the end of this live stream for the link to some of those business impact assessments that we're running in conjunction with Upstream for customers. They'll be able to sign up and register for one of those. And whilst you're there as well, also check out our meetup group. Which Upstream are going to come to the first founding one of that. That's the customer experience meetup that we've also launched. You'll see the registration links within there as well. But for now, I guess, Jeff, all that leaves me to say is thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm
great,
hoping to have you back on the live studio at some point soon. And equally, we'd love to see you join these broadcasts once again in the future. Thank you very much.